Hey guys! So, since it is New Year's Eve, I will be going through my least favorite and my favorites of what I've read this year. Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer out. My favorites are not going to be your favorites. The books I dislike, if you love them, I'm sorry that they are on here. But, it's not a personal attack. Nobody's going to agree. We're all friends here. So now that that disclaimer is there, I'm going to move on. Anyway, so the first book on this list, I didn't want to put it on here. I only read like 20 books this year. I know, it's been a tough year, but next year I am going to hit that 100 book mark. And to be fair, literally almost all the 20 books I read this year was in the last like 2 months. So I've been reading crazy. And I plan to continue reading this crazy. So without further ado, the fifth one on my least favorites this year was Frostblood. And I did not want to put this on here because it was a good book. I think I gave it like 4 stars on Goodreads. I liked it. It was well written. It was in my favorite point of view as well. I love it. I love first person. It's my favorite. It's what I personally write in. And so it was great. I loved it. It was entertaining. I don't think I'm going to finish with the series. I don't think I'm going to continue with the series. I don't think I'm going to do anything else. And I'm probably going to sell this one. But I did enjoy it. I just don't want to continue it. I did not want to put that on the list because I don't think it deserved to be in least favorites. I haven't read a lot of books this year. If I had, this wouldn't have been on my list. Okay, the next one is very controversial. Like, I know people are going to be pissed off for this. Well, not really many people see this anyway. But anyway, The Diviners. I'm sorry. I had to put it. I did not enjoy it. I actually got this for October because I wanted to read something really creepy and Halloween-y. And so I looked up a bunch of booktubers and like this was on like everyone's list. And here's the thing. Like, it wasn't that it was poorly written. It wasn't that, like, it just wasn't my thing. Like, this takes place in the the early 1900s. And this plot seemed like something I would really be into. However, like, I don't know, man. It's just, like, I feel like the writer Googled 1920s phrases that were commonly used and just overused the shit out of them. Every other page was like, that is the cat's meow, and absolutely, I don't even know how to say that. It was just too much for me. And a lot of people loved that, and there's no problem with that. I don't know. I feel like you could only tell it was written like back then with those few catchphrases. And and they said like, oh, what's wrong with the old girl? What's not, like over and over. And everyone loves, I think his name was Sam. It's been a hot second since I read it. Yeah, I think his name was Sam, I think. And I love Sam Winchester. But anyway, but everyone loves him, and I'm like, their first interaction, he like kisses her without like consent, literally. And it's not like they even knew each other. They are a stranger. She's just walking, and he just grabs her and kisses her and then steals her money. Okay, so like, I know like the whole $20 is like a cute thing that go back and forth, but like, dude, he like straight up just kissed a stranger without her consent. That pissed me off, and I was like, I don't like you. I don't like you. I was team whatever the other guy was, Jericho or something. I don't remember, because like it took me 2 weeks to get through this. And if you know me, if it takes me 2 weeks to get through something, I should just DNF it because I don't like it. Yeah, not my thing, not my cup of tea. Third one on here, okay. Vanishing Girls by Lauren Oliver. I was not a fan of this one. So I feel like this, I was reading this, I was like, I've read this before. I already knew how it was going to end because I've read this in Identical and Ellen Hopkins. And Ellen Hopkins is my girl, okay? I loved Identical. I thought it was amazing. I was actually really surprised with the plot twist in there. However, I think this was really similar. Not saying that, like, anyone stole anything, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't into it because I have read the story basically before. You know, when you write something, it's that everyone says it's already been done. However, I just wasn't a fan of it at all. Really annoyed me. I don't know. The characters just really annoyed me, like, the entire time. I don't know. I didn't like it at all. And I spent most of the time, like, secretly, like, not liking Dara, because I was like, how could you, I didn't know she was, like, you know, spoilers, I didn't know she was, like, you know, dead at first, and I was like, why are you just going after your sister's, like, who she loves? Like, that's fucked up. Anyway, okay, so, the number 1 and 2, my least favorite novels of the year, they are tied for 1 and 2, okay? These I didn't necessarily hate. I just really, really didn't like. These I hate. The Becoming of Noah Shaw. Oh wait, The Becoming of Noah Shaw and The Reckoning of Noah Shaw. This is how I feel about it. I'm pissed. Okay, so I read the Mara Dyer series. I read the Unbecoming of Mara Dyer, and like when I was halfway through, I literally ordered book 2 and 3, and I was like, you better get here by the time I finish it. It wasn't. I had to wait like 2 weeks, and I was going crazy. I almost like bought it on the Kindle, but I was like, no, I don't want to buy it on the Kindle when I just bought the hardbacks here. Like, I don't want to be that person. The last time I did that was on Alice in Zombieland. I had read the first book, and then I was like, well, I have to know the answers. And I totally did. I bought them before they came, and then I have them in paperback as well. That's a great series. I read that last year, so it can't be included here. However, that's a great series, and you should check it out. Anyway, so here's my issue. Okay. The Mara Dyer series is great. I literally gave, I read the second book last Friday because it finally came in the mail. And then as soon as I got done with the second book, I started the third that morning, read like 200 pages. And then that night, I started like 12:30 and got done with 3:30. I spent 3 hours binging the third book in the Mara Dyer series. Finished it and I was like, this is amazing. I love it. And I immediately went to my room that's getting converted into a library and got The Becoming of Noah Shaw, and I started reading it, and I was severely disappointed from the very first page. I don't know. We got a little bit of Noah's point of view in the other book, and I'm like, this isn't Noah. It was like robotic almost to me. It was like he was just, I don't know. It was like, yeah, robotic, and he was just like it was just like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and it was just, I don't know. I didn't like it. So after I got like, I don't know, like maybe 40 pages in, I did something. I skipped to the end, and then I started skimming because I knew I was like, I don't want to read these. So I skimmed and I read the ending. And I know everyone's like, don't judge a book if you didn't read the whole thing. Here's my issue. She breaks them up. After everything they've been through, she breaks them up, and it's pointless and it's needless. The 3 books were published, like, the 3 books were finished, and then, like, 3 years later, she does these. And, like, why? The story was over. If anything, maybe she could have done, like, The Unbecoming of Noah Shaw, which would be, like, the first book in Noah's perspective. I would have loved that. However, no, she continues the story and then she ruins it. Like, I feel like the other series is now tainted because of this. And she didn't just break them up. Apparently, and you can comment if I'm wrong, because I did skim, she, like, makes Mara super freaking evil, where she kills his dad, she kills freaking Stella, and I'm like, she did not even care, and I'm like, what the, I know she was, like, eventually maybe one day supposed to like go completely evil or whatever, but like it wasn't right after the events. Like, what? Like, they just had this happy ending and Noah was like, I'm never gonna leave your side no matter what, and then he's like, I never want to see you again, and I'm like, that is heartbreaking, and that taints the series for me. Like, Noah Shaw, I mean, like, to be fair, she just killed some more people. But still, man. It's kind of not, like, well, I mean, it is her fault, but still, like, ugh, why? Why, man? I just, I'm very disappointed. And in this one, I skimmed a little bit of this too. Mara's on the cover. Okay, guys? If 2 people are on the cover, you're going to think that 2 people are in the damn book. However, Mara is not in the book until the last, like, 2 pages, and it's not even with Noah. It's with Daniel. So it's like, really? She's on the cover, and Mara's not in this at all. It's just Noah going around, getting drunk with Goose, and, like, there's no plot from what I've skimmed, and I've read other people's reviews, and they say the same thing. I skimmed a lot, and there's just he just seems like he's going around, getting drunk, and missing Mara when they could be together, and I'm just like, why? Why? If you guys have read these 2 books, please put full description, spoilers, on exactly what happens between both of these books, because I want to know, but I don't want to read them. I can't do it. So now, on a positive note, let's get to my favorites of this year. So, 5th favorite of this year was Sadie. Oh, guys, I adored this so much. I read this in 2 days. I think I gave it 5 stars. Yeah, I gave it 5 stars. So, this was great. Oh, guys. Okay, so this takes place in Sadie's point of view and a reporter's point of view who is basically, like, following her tracks. So when it's in his point of view, it takes place, like, right after what happened with Sadie. And so we open up to the book, and Sadie's sister has been murdered. Her younger sister has been murdered. And it takes a toll on Sadie. She is heartbroken. Her sister was her entire world. And so Sadie makes it her mission. She is going to find the murderer, and she is going to kill him. She does not care what she has to do. She will give her life to accomplish this mission. She's never kissed anyone. She's never had a boyfriend. Literally, all she has had was her sister. And their mom was a no-show. They're absent for most of their life. Well, not most of their lives, since I think the last few years. Yeah, it was really sad. And I don't want to spoil anything more. And a lot of people have bashed the ending. But, okay, hold on. I'll wait. If you don't want a light spoiler, then skip ahead. Okay, so not every book's going to have a happy ending. And I kind of like how it left it up to the imagination, and people don't know if she's alive or dead. However, my feelings is that she is dead. There's just no way I think that she's not. However, this is amazing, and I love this novel. I will be keeping it. Definitely not in the sell pile. I loved it. Okay, so the next one is, I put this in a really bad order. Anyway, so the next one is Hunting Prince Dracula. Now, okay, guys, I am in love with this series. The 3rd one just came in the mail, so perhaps that will be my first read of the new year. Actually, no. My first 2 reads of the new year are gonna be the people who won my 3,000 giveaway on Twitter that I just did. So, those are gonna be my 2 first reads of the year. Anyway. Hunting Prince Dracula. I loved it. This is the 2nd book in the Stalking the Jack the Ripper series. So this one takes place in Romania. It is so amazing. So her and Thomas Cresswell, they go to the school for they try to get into the school. They think they're already into the academy. However, they're not. When they get there, they find out they're going to be both, like, going against each other for positions there. And they're like, okay. And, of course, everyone's assholes to Aubrey Rose because, a woman can't do a man's job, you know. But you know Aubrey. She takes it in stride. She's like, fuck off. I love Aubrey Rose. I love reading about strong, independent characters that don't need a man. And people want to bash them and be like, oh, they're a man hater. No, obviously Aubrey Rose is not a man hater. She is in love with Thomas Cresswell. She just knows she doesn't need a man in order to have happiness. she feels great with who she is, and she knows she doesn't need a man, but that doesn't stop her from wanting Thomas Cresswell. I loved it. I gave this 5 stars. It's amazing. I just did my review. You guys should check out all my reviews on Bookreads and follow me on there. Anyway, so the next one is Stalking Jack the Ripper. So I can't have this one without this one because I read both this year. Guys, I don't know which one I loved more. I liked this one. My favorite part about this was the tunnel aspect and the Roman numerals, and how each Roman numeral of the tunnel, it came with some other type of horror, like the bats or the spiders. Guys, when I read that, I was like, oh god, I hate spiders. I don't have a lot of fears, but spiders can fuck right off. I hate them. I do not like them. So when I read that, I was like, ugh. Anyway, that was my favorite part. I thought, not the spiders, but like how the Roman numerals things. And I love the creepy poems in this one. I freaking adore it so much. I like it. I love it, love it, love it. It's amazing. And I write poetry too. So how she incorporated that, it gave me butterflies. I loved it. It gave me little tingles. I was like, oh yes. Anyway, Stalking Jack the Ripper. I loved it. This one, it takes place where she lives, and so in London. And guys, it's amazing too. Like, so she loves her brother, and at first I really liked her brother. I thought he was amazing. Anyway, so yeah, as you know from this one, she loves working in the morgue, and I think that's really cool. Again, I love reading about strong, independent characters. I'm pretty much going to say the same thing about this one as the same thing about this one, because all the characters stayed just as epic and amazing. Thomas Cresswell, love him. Oh, one thing I will say about these two take place in the late 1800s. So, unlike the Diviners, I feel like this author, she wrote, you can feel like it's back in the day where she's writing this, but it's so natural. Like, she doesn't overly use, like, old phrases or anything. It just flows natural, and you can get that old, like, that 1800s vibe. Like, I just feel like it was really natural, and I love it. So, the second one, The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. I just read this a few weeks ago, and I got obsessed with the whole damn series. Like I said, all 3 of these books are rated a 5-star. And I gushed over these. I love these. I recommend these. I just think that you should stop with these. However, hopefully she fixes this mess in the 3rd book of the Shaw bullshit. Hopefully. That's my one pet peeve about writers, guys, when they do spin-offs. Spin-offs aren't really my thing in the first place. I get really loyal to my original characters. Like, I get really, really loyal, and I don't want to read other people usually. But Noah Shaw, I was like, I love him. He's like the 2nd main character. Of course I want to read that. However, when you do a spinoff, there's nothing wrong with it. However, when you do a spinoff and then you completely ruin the characters, break them up for the sake of just money because you wanted to bring a series back years later, that's where I get really annoyed. Like, don't do that. Looking at you, Lisa McMahon. Okay, well, she didn't do it for money. She did it because she was forced to write a 3rd novel. However, like, I'm so pissed. The first 2 novels are freaking epic. Janie and Cable are truly remarkable, and I love them, and they were like one of my favorite couples. And then the 3rd book completely ruined it. So those 2 were some of my lifetime favorites, and they're ruined now. However, I do love this. It's amazing. Noah Shaw, like I said, he's amazing, and I love him. When I read the 3rd book, and they were like, what is your password? That when they were trying to find out what his password was, and when Jamie cracked it, and it was Mara Shaw. Guys, I'm like, he's not even in this part of this whole portion of the book, and yet he's still making me swoon. Noah Shaw, welcome to my favorite boyfriends list. Book boyfriends. Welcome there indefinitely, because I can just pretend like the Noah Shaw Chronicles don't exist. They don't exist. Okay, guys, number 1. So, last night I wanted 2 things. I wanted to at least have one 2019 published book. So I downloaded it and I was like, I'm going to read this today. and I wanted something about wolves. I wanted something about wolves because wolves are my favorite animals. When I downloaded this, I didn't think that it was going to be on my list, let alone #1. However, I read this. It was really slow today at work, so I literally read it. I literally read it the entire time because it's a small book. A Wolf Called Wonder. I know. I wish I had the book to like hold, but I don't have it. But I am gonna buy the hard copy of it because I am in love with it, guys. So you are in Swift's point of view. He is a wolf, and his family. He's like kind of like he's like second up to his brother, Sharp. And his brother kind of like always ones up him. The only thing that he does better than his brother is run. So you kind of have that. It's just normal back and forth. Just you get a little bit of them being a family. Swift is closest to Warm, his little brother, and it's so adorable. They like always cuddle up, and it's just the cutest thing. So when you get into the first part of the novel, the pale wolves attack, and he loses his father. I cried a little bit. I cried. I wanted to cry more. If I wasn't like at work, I would have cried more. However, yeah, so he loses his father. He gets separated from his family, and this whole book is like his journey. And when I finished the book, I realized that it was actually based on the actual wolf journey, who they were tracking, and who he had this epic story. So that made me love it even more. And all throughout the book, I wish I could show you, they have pictures. She has like illustrations throughout the entire book of wolves and horses and whatever he's coming in contact with. Like there's pictures. And it's so amazing. Like, they reference a Black River at one point. He's like, I don't want to cross the Black River. And I'm like, Black River, what is that? And then I went to the next page, and it was a road. And I was just like, that's amazing. I love that. It was really good. It was really sad. I cried. I don't want to tell you why, but I cried. Swift has always wanted to be leader of the pack. I really enjoy the ending of this novel. I really enjoyed the entire thing, honestly, and I enjoyed the illustrations. Guys, check it out. A Wolf Called Wonder. Check it out. It is on Kindle right now for $2, and I love it. I am about to buy a hard copy edition, because I want it on my bookshelves, because I love it. I love wolves, and I love how at the back she had information about wolves. She had like information about wolves. She had like diagram. Oh my god, guys. She did her research. If you love wolves, get this. Okay? It's amazing, and I love it. So, those are my 5 favorites and my 5 not favorites. This is a really long video. Sorry about that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and Happy New Year's. Love you guys.